Ciabatta toast. Come on, let's go.
I've actually got 2 bottles
trying to see
in case I run.
what square you're on. But I learned about drinking wine from the bottle from Perry Farrell, from touring with him. He was just like, you want some wine? And I thought he was pouring. No, here's a fucking bottle. And we just would just walk around with bottles. It's horrible talking about these stories because it feels like you're just dropping names. We were actually met. We got introduced by, we were at Tom Morello's house. Tom used to throw these great little parties, and he had this connected to his house. It was like this thing where people are supposed to be jamming, and it's a bedroom. He replicated his bedroom from when he was a kid. And so nobody can really fit in it. And he's got amps and he used to jam, and everybody's just in the hallway watching. And, you do Halloween parties and all sorts of stuff. And then he introduced me and Perry at this party, and we kind of hooked up the next couple of days, and we wrote a little bit, jammed a bit, and we did satellite party together.
Did he come up to you and ask you if you were like dressed as Dave Navarro?
No, he asked, are you okay with performing live with me and putting a dildo up your ass while you're doing a guitar solo? I finally got Ben to shut up. You believe it? I got him to shut up for a second. He's just laughing. When me and Tom were sharing stories about, he said the first time he saw James, he said that was part of Dave's guitar solo, which Dave's a friend of mine who I love dearly. And it's impressive that you can actually do that.
Monster player.
Your job is open, like,
I'm just
me?
like,
Yeah, that shit happens. James Addiction shows, man. You got there's shit that goes on till this day. There's stuff going on that stage. Who was it? Extreme did a gig with them in Europe not too long ago, like a few years back. And while I was on the side of the stage watching, a couple of girls come behind me on both sides of the stage. I'm like, oh wow, the dancers, they're going to go up and do some BVs. Bullshit. These cranes came down and they hooked them.
Yeah, we just played a festival with them, and that was I saw that. I saw exactly what you were talking about. They're literally
right in front of the back of their skin,
into the skin, and they pull them
and then
up.
They swing them all everywhere. Like I was like, just watching this, going like, wow, holy shit, I'm in the wrong business. Like I should be
wild show.
All those hours of practice for what? Like for what?
Yeah, all you need to do is hook yourself and swing. I don't know. I was like, whoa, I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, I didn't know people could do that stuff. It was amazing. I mean, I know, piercings and pain and all that. This is hanging, swinging from cables, and skin is just being fucking yanked.
I guess I can jump in here as the person that's the non-guitar player, totally out of this box. But,
yes.
You're obviously a superstar. But I'm the one in this podcast that likes to ask questions about people's background. So for the people that may not know who you are or want to hear about your background.
Which is definitely possible.
Which is definitely possible. But, obviously we know how amazing you are. Can you talk about how you got into music, what it is about guitar, how you became, you have like an insane sound and talent and an amazing voice. And I'm always curious to hear how people form that, what their influences were, how they grew into their instrument.
So many things happen to you along the way. I grew up, I'm the youngest of 10 kids. And it's not just the youngest of 10 kids, youngest of 10 kids that all played. Everybody played bass, instruments, multiple instruments. My dad played like 12 instruments, clarinet and violin and all sorts of shit. He was a complete asshole, but he never taught me anything, but he played them. When you grow, and you're the youngest and you're just walking into every room, there's like I said, back in the 1900s when we moved from Portugal to Massachusetts, to Hudson, Mass. I remember you walk into your living room was like, all right, there's a keyboard there. It's a Farfisa organ, or then there's a drum kit in the corner. You had no choice but to just it was the Nintendo of what everybody did later, right? You just jump on a kit, you pick up a bass, you play. Christmases are like the whole Beatles catalog. Literally, we were the only family. We didn't sing Christmas songs. We sang Beatles songs at Christmas. It was just like a Beatles jam. Music, it's interesting. Music wasn't something you discovered you weren't like a kid in a normal family, and then all of a sudden you saw Ozzy and you're like, or Aerosmith. You're like, I'm gonna. That's it. It was kind of like part of regular life. You know what I mean? And then the normal stuff was odd.
Were your parents also you said your dad was a musician, but
my dad was, my mom as well. My mom sang as well. And my grandmother used to sing in the islands where we're from, it goes as far back as silent movies. My grandmother used to play piano and sing at these silent movies and write original scores for these silent movies. It was insane. We just recently, my brother found something in one of the islands that they had from her original handwritten scores and stuff that she did from like the 1930s and 40s. It's insanity. So music is there. It's just automatic. And I think that's why when you say, that's why I always had a hard time looking at myself as a guitar player, I just play. I played drums way more drums before I played guitar. Played bass way more before I played guitar. Piano as well. It was just around. You just like this. You would go. I wasn't getting any lessons. Nobody was fucking teaching us shit. We just did it. You're the youngest of the kids. You walk into one room, you hear the Beatles, Bee Gees. You go into the next room because of the age gaps in generation. Then you're hearing like Hendrix. Then one day you walk in and you hear Van Halen in 1978. And then that changes and fucks your whole life up and rocks your world. And you're like, oh, what the fuck is going on there? But it was Zeppelin, it was that, it was Queen, obviously. But it was like my brothers and sisters were the library. I never bought a fucking record in my entire life.